I was going to ask you what you've been doing lately, but...
Federally funded, that was. $9,000 from the state of Massachusetts.
Just to tap out that? You got the Bonnie Franklin home tap tape?
Yeah.
All right, super. How you doing, Steve?
I'm good, I'm fine.
What's your take on this whole funding for the arts thing? You believe in it or you don't believe in it?
Yeah, I think it should happen. I think there should be, you know, it goes all the way back to the Pope and Michelangelo and the Sistine Chapel and all that, and, you know, it's like, even the presidents, I don't agree with the presidents when they started putting themselves on coins. You know, that's kind of bullshit. That's where I think everything went wrong, when they... Yeah, we're into art. How about little versions of me all over the United States?
I think that's what pissed John Wilkes Booth off about Lincoln.
I think it was.
Yeah.
It was an art thing.
Bam!
Right. That's why he did it in the theater.
Yeah. Rapier as always, my friend. Now, where do you keep that Oscar? Tell me that before we get to the next thing. Where do you keep that? I always wondered where an existentialist keeps his Oscar.
I welded it to the hood of my car.
Now that has got to get you laid, man.
What officer? Oh, I didn't notice that. Oh. Let me tell you how I got that.
I couldn't see the stop sign. My Irving Thalberg Award was blocking it.
But I think they should give money for that, absolutely. You know, you were talking about Mapplethorpe. I was in Cincinnati when that show was in Cincinnati. And it was right when Pete Rose was being, like, investigated for gambling. And I said to the audience, I'm not going to do any Mapplethorpe jokes or any Pete Rose jokes. But I do have a rare photograph of Pete Rose. It was taken by Mapplethorpe.
And?
And they laughed much more than this audience.
Well, you know Cincinnati.
Well,
that's the Tigris and Euphrates of hip right there, man. Now, let me ask you this. Do you think the conservatives are leaning on this issue now because they really care about the bread, or do they view, like, the arts as the dabblings of the liberal infrastructure of this country, and that's why they're busting their balls on it? I sometimes think that it's not that much money. I don't think they care as much about the money as they just want to fuck with what they construe to be the liberal artists in this country.
Absolutely. They don't have no imagination, you know. They think a menu is abstract art. It's like it's like cutting back on that is just insane. I think they should, like, get rid of a couple of those stealth bombers, you know, and build 20,000 museums.
Bingo. Build,
you know?
Yeah. Build. You could build stealth museums, then you wouldn't even know if you were in them. No, got a phone call, line 8, Jeanette from Birmingham, Alabama. Jeanette?
Hi.
Wow.
I think you're adorable. I think you were wonderful in disclosure. And I think it's wonderful to be a comedian since you're competing with Washington.
Uh-huh. Well, thank you, Jeanette. What's your question? Do you have a question for Stephen?
Well, I just want to make a statement about the arts.
All right.
I think it's great to fund PBS for children to learn.
Uh-huh.
And we watch it a lot, too. But when they fund symphonies, and you have to pay $500 for season tickets to go when the government's funding them, too, couldn't that money go for something like to help comedians or abused children or something? I don't mind them funding the arts if we get to see them. But if you come down south, then all you're going to do is go to galleries and symphonies where you have to pay a fortune.
I went to the symphony down south once, and when that washboard section stands up, it is quite sad. We got another phone call, line 5. We've got Wendy from Fallbrook, California. Wendy?
Yes.
Give me an urban take on this whole thing, baby.
I wanted to know how you both feel about if you feel that Clinton is doing enough to support the funding of the arts.
If he's what?
Doing enough to support arts. Clinton threw so much shit up against the wall when he was trying to get elected, he can't cover all the debts he owes now. You know, he promised everybody the moon, and now he's fucked because he can't deliver. So when I say the arts are a big thing to him right now, no, I don't think that matters as much as...
If it becomes a big issue where everyone's into it and they want it, then he'll be right
He'll
there.
jump right on it, yeah. But right now, I think he's got bigger problems than that. Line 3, we've got Doug from Boise, Idaho. Doug?
Yeah, hi, Dennis.
Rap to me, Spud King.
Hey, I was a big fan of both you and Steven, and I was wondering, do you think the conservatives in Congress will continue to restrict free speech in their funding for the arts?
I think people should get megaphones. Federally funded megaphones.
Yeah.
To enhance free speech.
Wow.
I don't know if that's where he was going with that.
Well, you know what? It is a tough call sometimes because I think we all see stuff like crucifixes and urine, and I know about you. I think this guy's a fucking bonehead who doesn't have a talented bone in his body. You know what I mean? Oh, that's what makes him a bonehead. He doesn't have a bone in his body. All right. But anyway, you know, I look at certain things, and I don't want to fund them either. But, you know, you can't really draw the line. Then it starts to get weird, so you got to fund all of it. But I just want all you people to know out there who feel your form of art is to lay naked in a shower stall and slither between live electrical wires with your body all wrapped up in Miracle Whip. It ain't art, it's fucked, okay? Line 4, we've got Lois from Flint, Michigan. Lois?
Hi, Dennis.
Hi, Lois.
I live in a town where the museum thinks art is old Buicks, and I was wondering if you still support funding for the art, if you would support funding for the arts if it cut into education when most of the people, like in my area, you know, we'd have to drive Detroit, Chicago, something like that to see anything.
Well, I don't know what you think, Stephen.
I think there should be funding for Buick.
Mm-hmm. So you've got a consistent stand on this whole issue, don't you?
Yeah, and I think the presidency, now that I think of it, is a surrealistic performance art.
Yeah. Line 7, Patrick from Traverse, Michigan. Pat?
Hi. Since public public response and recognition is such an important part in any artist's survival, I was wondering how you felt this opinion of the masses affected either of your work.
Opinion of what? The
masses. It hasn't affected you at all, has it? I remember the first time I saw you, I said, this cat doesn't even know there's an audience out there. I must tell you, I first saw you, I thought, okay, right away, I don't throw this around a lot. I thought, I'm looking at a genius. But then you seemed so shy and reticent, I thought, I don't even think he knows what's out there. I think he's got some well-crafted gems of jokes, and he's just going to show them to the public.
Well, I just kind of did what I could only do. I wasn't really trying to do anything.
Yeah. I remember I used to cater to the crowd more when I first started, and I saw Belzer at Caroline's in New York one night, and this woman in the crowd said, do Jagger. She kept screaming. She was drunk. She wanted him to do his Jagger impression. And Belzer said, what am I, your fucking comedy pet? Why don't I come down there and tie your old man in the chair and fuck you in front of her? And I remember thinking, wow, you don't have to kiss their ass, do you? And from then on in, man, I didn't listen that much. Line 6, we've got Andrew from Bangor, Maine.
Dennis.
Yeah.
How you doing?
What's happening, babe?
Not much. I'm on vacation. I don't live in Bangor. I don't think anybody lives in Bangor.
Uh-huh. Sure.
I just wanted to say that I work in the television station in my high school in New Jersey. And if they cut funding for the arts, including public broadcasting, then I couldn't get a job and make fun